So as you lie here on your back with the feet together, with that back slightly arching, just one more few breaths here into the belly. Or perhaps now start to expand a bit into the rib cage too. So as your belly expands, you start to follow the breath a bit higher up into the ribs and the back start to arch a tiny bit more. Again, we're just checking in with the health of the back. So while maybe you might have different days where you focus on different parts of your body in your practice, you can have a leg day, a shoulder day, an arm day. Every day is a back day, it's a spine day. Your spine should be part of whatever you do. Okay, from here, let's place the feet on the floor and just let the knees rest against each other. So you can separate the feet a bit more if you want to, just let the knees rest against each other. Now your lower back should, generally speaking, sink down towards the floor. That's a way of releasing. So before we move on, while you are resting in a comfortable place, let's place the hands over the heart center. And before we carry on, just taking a few moments here to just connect. So feeling the breath moving into the rib cage as well as the belly. And the breath is moving slowly and deeply. And before you continue your journey of exploration into your body, mind, and spirit, connect to gratitude in the present moment. Right here, right now. Accepting yourself as you are. And finding gratitude. Because whatever happened so far, whether it's good or not so good, it brought you here to this moment. You're here, you're alive, you are again on your mat, willing to look in, willing to practice, willing to kind of face some things which perhaps might not be comfortable, because you feel reassured, knowing that this is a good and a healthy process. Okay, so slowly releasing the hands and keeping the feet on the floor, just bring the feet about hip width apart. And with your knees apart and your knees roughly above your feet, we'll start moving the back. So while keeping your butt on the floor, your tailbone on the floor, start to arch your back by pressing the tailbone down and create more arch in the lower back. So if you were to place your hands underneath your lower back, you'd be able to slide them in and out without any problem. There's an arch there. Then without having the hands there, press your back into the floor and lift your tailbone slightly up. So you should feel your belly muscles. If you place your hands on your abdomen, you should feel your belly muscles firming. And again, press your tailbone down and arch the back as you breathe in. Belly expands to the ceiling, and then press the spine down, lift your tailbone slightly up. And we start to rock here. So think of your sacrum like a rocking chair, rocking forwards and backwards, and keep moving with that. So rocking forwards and backwards, feeling your lower back pressing to the floor, then arching off the floor. Start to warm up the muscles surrounding the lower back and in front of the lower back, your belly muscles, the core. So you can synchronize with the breath here or simply move. And then one more time, press the tailbone down to the floor and arch your back. This time, press the palms down to the floor by your side and keeping the feet close together, start to arch more. So as you press your elbows into the floor, your chest starts to rise up too. So the chest rises and expands, but the shoulders are still on the floor. Your tailbone is still on the floor. The back of your head is on the floor. And then relax, press the back into the floor as you lift your tailbone up. And then lift the arms up towards the ceiling. So you feel your shoulders coming off the floor and you feel more surface contact between your spine and the mat. Then relax the arms down. So just a couple more times. So press your tail, press your head and the top of your shoulders and arch the back by pressing the elbows down. Lift up and expand. And then relax, reach the arms up, maybe interlock your fingers, lift your tailbone up, reach the arms higher up. And one more time, pressing your tail, pressing the top of the shoulders and the head, press the elbows and arch your back. We hold it here for about 3 breaths. So as you hold it here, kind of visualizing the spine, reaching up through the rib cage. Feeling the belly expanding and stretching. Just take one more breath, then relax it down. One more time, reach your arms high, interlock the fingers, lift your tailbone up, press the lower back, press the mid back, just lift your shoulders up, lift your tail and shoulders up, hold it, and then relax. Okay, from here, a rolling bridge. So make sure your feet are close enough so you can touch your heels. As you breathe in, start by lifting your tailbone up and the hands up, then carry on the movement until you are in a bridge with the arms behind you. In the same way, easing yourself down from shoulders towards the tail, bringing the hands to the floor by your side at the same time. Do 5 of those all together. So inhale, reach up and over. And exhale, ease it down. Inhale, reaching up and over. That's it. And exhale, ease it down nice and slowly, trying to articulate for the vertebrae. And again, reaching up and over, breathing in. Then ease it all the way down, breathing out. This last one will hold. So as you inhale, reaching up and over, keeping the arms behind, hold it here. So keeping the arms behind, if possible, interlock your thumbs, then reach both arms a bit further back. And keeping the arms back, start moving your pelvis a bit from right to left. So the arms still reaching back, but your hips are moving a bit right and left. Trying to relax a bit for the lower back. Then come back to the center. Using your right hand, hold your left wrist and move both arms towards the right. At the same time, move your hips a bit towards the left. If it's too much for your thighs, of course, you can come down, come up a few times. Then switch. With the left hand, hold your right wrist. As the arms move left, your hips move right. Then come back to the center, reach the hips really, really high. Then slowly start to lower the hips just before they touch the floor, shift them a bit towards the right, and then drop them down. And allowing both knees to drop towards the left. Okay, so if your knees dropping left, use your left hand, hold your right wrist, and gently pull a bit towards the left. To get more opening for the left side of your body. And release the hands, reach your right arm high towards the ceiling as you inhale, and open it out towards the right. Now to begin with here, the feet and the knees are not together, and they can stay there, or you could slide the right foot further left until the feet and the knees are above each other. So right above left. You can use your left hand above the right thigh to keep the knees down. So a gentle twist here for the back. You can stay as you are, or you can use your left hand to hold your right foot and extend the leg out towards the left. If you can't hold the foot because you can't straighten the leg, just hold the back of your leg instead. In a similar way, you can use your right hand and reach down towards your left foot. It's not there, but you know it's attached. So just keep moving your foot further and further right until you can make kind of contact with that right foot, and you pull the foot a bit further, sorry, the left foot, and you pull the left foot a bit further right. Feel that stretch in your left quad. So right leg going left, left leg going right. And the breath there as you are. And slowly release. And both feet come onto the floor, and lift the hips and bring them to the center. And take a moment there to let your back kind of relax into it. So part of the idea with working with the back is to bring it to some places which are not so comfortable, which will kind of create a bit of an obstruction for the blood flow. And then when you release, the blood kind of gushes into these areas, floods them. Okay, so the kind of restriction we are creating is a healthy one, because that will encourage your body to sort out what's happening there and to replace any tension with space, with freedom. Let's do a rolling bridge just once. So lift your tail, lift your arms all the way up as you inhale. Hold it there. And then slowly start to lower the spine down one vertebrae at a time. And just before your hips reach the floor, move both hips towards the left, then settle them down. So the feet are not together, and therefore the knees are not together. And while your hips are resting on the floor on the left side, drop both knees towards the right. Okay, and then with your right hand, hold your left wrist and gently pull a bit towards the right, while keeping your left shoulder close to the floor. Then release in the hands, reaching your left arm high up towards the ceiling, breathing in, then open it out towards the left. Start to slide that left foot further right until the foot is above the foot and the knee is above the knee. And now you can use your right hand above your left thigh. So again, it's a gradual progression, just stop when it's enough. So you either stop in here, or if you want to continue, using your right hand, holding on to your left leg or left foot, reach the leg out towards the right. Aiming to have the foot resting on the floor if that's possible, it's easier. And if comfortable, your left hand can reach down towards your right foot. You can have to bring that right foot a bit in. And if you hold it, just pull it a bit further left. Pull it on your quad. Keeping both shoulders on the floor if possible as you create this twist. So shoulders are on the floor, which means the chest is up and the shoulders are relaxed. And as the hips are above each other, the twist is in the middle of your back. Take one more breath there as you are. And slowly release the feet. Place both feet on the floor. Shift the hips back to the center. And again, just take a moment here to reflect on how it feels. As you do so, allowing the blood to flood. Blood is flooding into your back, into your hips, into your belly. Okay, so a bit with the back, a bit with the hips. So keeping the feet about hip width apart. Let's once more roll up into a bridge. And this time, once you're there, bring the hands on the floor by your side. So you can use your hands on the floor for support. But keeping the left foot roughly where it is, place the right ankle above the left knee, and then let the knee, the right knee, drop down towards the floor. Check that your hips have not dipped towards the right. Okay, so hold it here. And now we're feeling the connection between the health of our hips to our back. So just feeling the weight of your right leg as it gradually recedes down and down towards the floor. Keeping the foot where it is, slowly ease your spine towards the floor. Then keeping the foot where it is, we do a pigeon on the back. So right hand reaches between the thighs to make contact with your left leg. Left hand is doing the same on it on the outside. So thread the needle pigeon on the back. That's it, holding on to your left leg, be it by your shin. We're not having to go very deep here. Just kind of invite that right foot closer to your left shoulder without forcing it there. Take another breath there. And slowly releasing the left foot to the floor, release your hands. Keep the right foot there as it is, sorry. Move your arms out of the way and then start to dip from side to side. So kind of rocking towards the left until the right foot is touching the floor. And rocking towards the right until the right knee is touching the floor or close to it. And then keep rocking from right to left. So we're combining here stretching for the back, compressing for the back, stretching for the hips, releasing the hips, movement, twists, Let's go all the way towards the right and pause there for a moment, towards the floor. And use the right foot to kind of encourage that left knee further down till the inside of your left knee is getting closer to the floor. And then sliding that right foot further left until the thighs are above each other. Okay, so right shin is above left shin. Right thigh is above left thigh. I'm going to go all the way towards the other side in a moment, but first of all, just relax a bit more here. Then slowly come back to the center. Don't go towards the left just yet. Use the left foot on the floor to lift the hips and move them a bit further right, then ease them down. And then maybe slide that right foot behind your left calf as both knees drop towards the left. The further right your hips are, the easier it will be to hold that twist. So one more time, right arm reaches up towards the ceiling, breathing in. Then open up the arm towards the right, breathing out. Using your left hand perhaps on your knees or on your thighs to ease yourself down. If your knees can't reach the floor, just keep the right shoulder down. Don't worry about the knees. Keeping the legs as they are. Slowly roll onto your back. Bring the spine to the center. And lift both feet off the floor. Use your hands to kind of hug your legs in. You can lift the head off the floor and give yourself a good squeeze. Then slowly ease yourself out. Release the feet on the floor, and take a moment there again to just notice how it feels in your back and in your hips. Rolling up to a bridge. Whenever you're ready, as you inhale, roll up. And then once more, bring the hands onto the floor by your sides. And keeping the right foot where it is, place your left ankle on the thigh, close to the knee. And without dropping or dipping your left hip, just let your knee and your thigh drop down. Slowly breathing, relaxing. And when you're ready, going to slowly ease the spine down towards the floor. And once your spine is on the floor, lifting your right foot off the floor with your left hand and the right hand to the right leg, shin or thigh, and relax into that. So soften your body, as you soften the breath, as you calm and relax your wandering mind. Another breath. And slowly release the hands. Placing the right foot on the floor, keep the left foot where it is. Start to move the arms out of the way so you can move your knees from side to side. So left knee drops towards the floor on the left side, and left foot drops towards the floor on the right side. Keep moving here, gently rocking for the lower back. It doesn't matter if the knees can't reach the floor or if you need to change foot position. It's about your back moving. Keep moving, keep moving, keep moving. Okay, so we're going to, again, go all the way towards the right. Pause there for a moment. And then encourage that left knee a bit further down. You can use your hand. Do it with the other side, so dropping both knees towards the left and using your left foot to guide the right knee a bit further down. And here, obviously modifying if it works or if it doesn't work, depending on your knees and on your hips. Either stay as you are, or maybe slide that left foot further down towards the right ankle, so the thighs are above each other, the shins are above each other, and both knees are further down. Both knees are still going left, just low, and low, and low. The same way we go towards the other side, so start slowly, roll into your back. Use the right foot to lift the hips, shift them left. Then maybe crossing your left foot behind the right calf as both knees will drop towards the right. So left shoulder staying on the floor, both knees dropping low, whether they can touch the floor or not, doesn't matter. Just keep the left shoulder down. Yes, roll it onto your back. Bring the spine back to the center. Lift the feet off the floor and use your hands to hug your legs. Lift the head off the floor and give yourself a really good squeeze. Then release and cross the legs and bring both feet apart. Rest the knees against each other and just take a moment here to again just feel your back. So hips, twists, back, everything moves together. Removing obstacles in your body, starting to feel a bit better. So some more movement here. So lift the feet off the floor. If your hands hold both knees and start circling both knees together, same direction. The hands are on the knees. The circle is fairly small, so that's great. But if you want to make the circle wider, you can place the hands on the floor and go for a wider circle. Change direction, be it small or wide, doesn't matter, just move. Well, come back to the center. Hands against your thighs, weight the sides of the thighs or the back of the thighs. Let's start to extend both legs as straight as you can. Okay, hold it there, aiming to point your toes down towards your face and your heels up towards the sky if that's possible with your legs. Aiming to keep your lower back on the floor if that's okay. Aiming to keep the legs straight if that's possible. Hold it for a few more breaths. And as you do so, focus on your lower back and push it down into the floor. Push it down, firming your belly as you push it down. To help it even more, you could lift the head and shoulders off the floor. Then your lower back is definitely pushing down to the floor. You can use your hands or you can reach the arms forwards. Just trying to make like a sharp angle between your spine and your legs. Just take 2 more breaths here. Last breath. Then ease it down, use your hands, hug your legs. With your hands on the knees, circle the knees away from each other. Making the movement as wide as you can. The knees move away, 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 away. Well done, change direction. Circle the knees wide, wide, wide. They come back to the center. Bring the knees into the chest, into the belly, and then use the hands to separate the knees so they come towards your armpits. You can use your hands, your inner arms, your inner elbows. Just press those knees in, down, and apart. Either stay here as you are, or reaching the arms between the thighs to grab hold of the outside of your feet, and then go for happy baby pose. So feet facing the sky, knees dropping to the floor. Let's start to gently rock from side to side. Gently rock from side to side. Dropping all the way towards the right side, bringing that right knee a bit further down. While keeping the knee as stable as possible. If it feels okay, maybe straighten your left leg up. You can hold onto the foot, that's fine. You got a whole leg, just hold something else. Then changing, so bend the left knee, drop it closer to the floor, keep it low, maybe straighten that right leg if that works, or just reach it up towards straight, that works too. And one more time, bending both knees, come back to the center, happy baby pose. And bring the feet together, bring the knees together, and start to rock from side to side. Trying to cover as much surface of your back as possible as you roll from right to left, right to left. You're rocking all the way towards the one side and use your hands to bring yourself up. Okay, we're taking a forward bend here. So we're going to bring the legs forwards, toes pointing up, knees bent, and using your hands, hugging your thighs, and ease yourself down. So from going backwards to going forwards, your knees are as bent as you want them to be. You don't really have to straighten your legs here. You can use your arms to hug your thighs, to tuck your belly and your chest close to the thighs, and then your head can perhaps be supported by your legs. If you feel very comfortable and you want to go further down, but perhaps work your legs a bit towards straight. As you gradually kind of go deeper, you start to feel the back opening. So you start to feel the muscles along the spine stretching, opening. You perhaps start to feel the circulation increasing. Your neck long and your head heavy. Keep using your hands against the back of the thighs. So if you prefer, you can get them out of the way and reach them forwards towards your feet. If you are making contact with your legs or with your feet or with your toes, don't pull. Just make contact, but relax down. So if you were to take the hands off, you are still in the same place. And slowly coming out, coming up to sitting. And we're going to sit on the heels in Vajrasana. That's really not comfortable. You could sit differently. We're trying to kind of move the spine here. So placing the hands on the floor. The hands are roughly in front of your knees. If it's hurting your knees a bit here, you can always slide something kind of underneath your butt to make it a bit easier, or just change the way you sit so you are more comfortable. So keeping the hands on the floor, we're going to round the upper back and drop the chin down. And then start to bring the belly and the chest forwards and look forward. So we're doing the cat and cow here in this position. And rounding in, Dropping the head down, lift the chest back and bring the tailbone under. And lift the tailbone up, bring the belly forwards, the chest forwards, and the head forwards. And twice more in the same way. So bring your tailbone under, pull the belly away, chest away, shoulders away, head down. To bring your tailbone away, belly forwards, chest forwards, and head up. Now that was the whole spine. Now we're going to kind of isolate the top and the bottom part. So keep looking forward. Just move your tailbone under and belly in. Don't affect your shoulders, just lower back. Bring the tailbone up and belly forwards. It's just the lower part of your back. Pull it back, activate your core, and push it forwards, activate your back. Okay, so just the lower back. Tucking the tail and lifting the tail. Try not to move your upper back at all. Okay, and then come into neutral with the lower back. Now we're doing just the upper back. So round the back in, drop the head, bring the chest forward. Do not affect the lower back. Lower back is as flat as possible. Round the upper back. You can use your hands, push the floor, and bring the chest forwards. Okay, just the upper back. Round it in, push the floor. And forwards, then you can pull the hands on the floor. Then one more time, round it in, push the floor. And then come to neutral. Forward into child's pose. Okay, so staying here for the health of your back, the intention is to move as much as possible, but to be more precise with the movement. Okay, so you know which parts move well, and you hopefully by now know which parts don't move so well, then you can focus on moving them better. Okay, so before we come up, just take a moment here to one more time feel the back and feeling that flexion in the back. So the spine is opening up as the front is compressing. And as the back is opening up, you can use the breath and breathe deeply into it. Feel that expansion. And when you're ready, coming up. So placing the hands on the floor, come into a tabletop. And before we do the cat and cow, let's just get some movement here. So close your eyes and start moving your body. So as you move your body, you're kind of checking in with the health of your wrists, your elbows, your shoulders. But also checking in with your back. So just take any kind of movement that feels really good for your back here, which doesn't need to be symmetrical, linear. It doesn't even have to make sense. It just needs to feel good. Before cat and cow, we're going to take the puppy pose. So forwards, walking the hands forwards and dropping the forehead to the floor, keeping your hips above your knees. So whether you are on your elbows or on your fingertips or somewhere in between, just relax down. And slowly coming up. Now let's move in the cat and cow. So lifting your tailbone up, lift the head up as you breathe in, and rounding in as you breathe out. Yeah, lift up back into that cow as you breathe in. And as you exhale, rounding. Yeah, the same way, we're moving again one more time into the cow. Inhale. And back into the cat. Exhale. Now keeping the cat and just move both hips a bit further right and push the left hand a bit further more into the floor. The tailbone is still under, head is still going in as you open more the right side by pushing the left hand into the floor. You do the same thing to the other side, so move your hips further left, push the right hand more into the floor, opening for the left side of your body, tailbone is still under. That's it, rounding, still flexing. Come back to the center, forwards as you inhale. So as you come into the cow, we'll do the same thing here. So moving both hips a bit further right, push the left hand. Feel that squeeze in your left side. You can keep the right hand and left hand where they are, or you can move the left hand a bit further back towards your left knee. That will create more compression, but it's a lot more strain on the right hand, so make sure it's comfortable there. And switching, so left hand in position, moving your hips a bit further left. And if it's okay with your left wrist, move the right hand further back. So you're loading a lot more into the left side, and your right side is really compressed. Come back to the center, and again, we take in that puppy pose. So walk the hands forwards, and drop forehead down. If you want to take it more into like a heart pose, bring the chin or chest down. Slowly sliding onto your belly. And as we rest here on the belly for a few breaths, you can use your hands underneath your forehead, or you can bring the hands to the side, just relax your spine down. So kind of noticing the weight of your spine and allowing the spine to sink down through the body into the floor. So your back is completely relaxed. Starting here with strength, with the lower back and strength. We're going to start by keeping the head and the elbows and the chest down. Just lift your right leg up. Just the right leg. Aiming to keep the leg as straight as possible. Lift all the way to the hip. And ease it down. To the left side. So right leg stays down, left leg comes up. If possible, lift the whole of your thigh off the floor until you feel the left hip pressing down. Easy. And back into the right. So lifting the right as high as you can. And while keeping it up, bend the knee and bring the thigh higher. Keep the hip bone pressing into the floor, lift the thigh higher, and ease it all the way down. Same way, left leg, so lift the left leg straight first. And once it's off the floor, bend the knee and then lift higher. So easier with the knee bent, lift higher. Keep the hip on the floor, just lift the thigh higher. And then release it down and relax. Okay, before we do the both, let's just come up for a second into a sphinx here. So come onto your forearms. Just kind of gently move your spine, like a snake here. So move your spine a bit from side to side to relax a bit with the lower back. Or you can kind of rock a bit on your hips from side to side to relax your lower back. Or both. Okay, so once you feel your lower back a bit more comfortable after all that work, come back down. So you can hands underneath the forehead. Whenever you're ready, lift your right leg as high as you can. Then bend the knee and lift the thigh higher. And keep the thigh off the floor, aim your leg towards straight. And set it down. And the left, so left leg goes up straight first. And then bend the knee and lift higher. That's it. Then aim the leg towards straight. Keep it up. And lower it down. Again, staying down, just move your back a bit. So you can rock the hips from side to side. Now we're going to do both legs. Okay, whenever you're ready, settle down. And then lifting both legs up. Lifting both thighs off the floor if possible, lift higher. Squeezing your glutes a bit here towards each other, inner thighs towards each other, and then settle it down. If it gets too much, you can just lift the feet off the floor or just the shins. Don't overdo it. Do it again, starting the same way. But just imagine kind of grabbing a book maybe or pillow between your thighs, lift both legs straight out. Now bend both knees, lift the thighs higher and higher. Then ease it down, well done. Okay, again, wriggle if you need to in between, give it a miss if you had enough, or just one last time, combine the two. So lift both legs straight up, bend both knees, lift the thighs higher, then keeping the thighs just as high, straighten your legs and hold it there, legs straight, thighs off the floor. Relax your shoulders, don't tense the face. And ease it down and relax. Again, coming back into that Sphinx. I know that was hard. So good for you. So again, wiggle your spine. We're moving the hips. We're moving your spine, or both. Just relax it a bit more. And we're going to tuck the toes under and we do the seal. So the hands are forwards, lifting the elbows off the floor, taking the hands slightly wider. So it's a comfortable back bend. Hands are on the floor, hands on the floor. That's it. Arms are straight, toes are tucked under, thighs are on the floor, pubis bone on the floor. It's not so intense, so you can just relax here, maybe drop your head there. Okay, so if your toes tucked under, your pelvis is tipping forwards and the lower back is contracting. If your hands on the floor and your chest up, the lower back is contracted even more. So make sure it's contracted enough, not too much. Of course, you can move the hands further forwards, makes it easier. If you move the hands further back, makes it deeper. You find your way. Ease yourself down. We're doing striking cobra. We do 5 of those. So the feet can relax. In the striking cobras, the hands are wider and you kind of on your fingertips, the hands are perhaps, I don't know, twice as wide as your shoulders, perhaps even more. Don't go up so deeply. The hands can be in line with the face, even further forwards. Just rise as you inhale. When you rise in here from your back, because the hands don't really do much. And as you exhale, ease yourself down. Doing 5, that was 1. Inhale, come back up. And exhale, ease it down. If you want to get deeper, adjust your hands. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, ease it down. So 2 more to go. Don't go so deep. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, ease it down. And 1 more time. Inhale, coming up. This time, stay here. And look a bit towards the right. Fingertips are on the floor still. That's it. And look a bit towards your left. And come back to the center. Take a breath in. And again, look a bit towards the right. This time, maybe move the chest, not just the head. Left at the center, looking a bit towards the left with the shoulders, with the chest. Come back to the center, breathing in. Ease it all the way down. Hands underneath the forehead. Push the belly into the floor, breathing in. Hold the breath. Push the belly a bit more. Hold the breath. And let it go. Okay, so 1 more time, coming into the forearms to a Sphinx. This time bending both knees and then swinging the shins from side to side. Okay, so find that release in the back, and the hips. And come to the center. Either stay there or keeping the left hand on the floor, reach your right hand back to find your right foot and bring the heel down towards your bum. That works, it works. If it doesn't. If you need a belt, use a belt. If it feels too much, you can just reach back. You can do it this way, reaching back, or you can reach down. If you're down, maybe turn your fingers to point forwards as you bring the heel closer to the floor. Just opening for the quads here. You can keep your left hand and elbow on the floor. Pick up the elbow, so your toes coming closer to your ribs here. It's switching. First of all, forearms on the floor, swing. So opening the quads will be very important because if your quads are tight and your hip flexors are tight, that will affect the shape of your pelvis, the position of the pelvis, and the back. So left hand reaches back as right forearm stays on the floor, either holding the foot and pushing back, using the belt if the foot is too far, or bringing the heel in, pointing the fingers forwards if that's possible. Okay, staying on your right elbow, pick up the elbow. At some point, this will feel good. Not sure when, I can't promise that. At some point, it just, wow, feels really nice. Maybe not today. Both elbows on the floor again. One more time, swinging from side to side. Did I say both legs together? I think I did. So to reach both hands towards your feet, you have to bring the head to the floor first. So relax the head down. We're starting here with bow, Dhanurasana. We're reaching back, holding onto the shins, flex the feet, don't hold the feet, flex, hold the shins, flex the feet, and send your shins back. Not going up very high, the thighs are on the floor. It's not a very deep back bend, it's just more about leg strength. So use your legs to push back till maybe the chest comes off the floor, thighs are still on the floor, pushing back with your legs, ease yourself down. And either do it again, if that was good, or keeping your feet down, bring the heels towards your butt and lift your head off the floor. Now it's the Bekasana, it's the frog. Either keeping the fingers pointing back or holding onto the toes, pointing the fingers forwards. Frog pose, Bekasana. If that doesn't work, we're doing the bow variation. Take one last breath, doesn't matter which pose you're doing, and ease it down. And again, press your belly into the floor as you inhale, expand the belly and hold the breath in. And let it go. Okay. So to really help the back, we're going to do something that you really love. We're going to do a forearm plank. So come to your forearms, tuck your toes under, then lift your hips off the floor. Only for 5 breaths, not minutes. The idea here is to bring the tailbone under and really firm the core. It's really good for your back to have that core support. So last 2 breaths here. Last breath here. And that's it. Release it down. No problem. So as you release down, we're coming towards the Sphinx. And preparing for the second time. So breathing in. Now, before you come up, just have a quick look because it's very common. I see a few of you doing that. Okay, the idea is not to do the cow with the back, it's to do more the cat. Okay, so that as opposed to that. Here you have no core support, here you do. We want the belly to kind of pull in and then push down. Okay, so again, one more time, just 5 breaths, very quick breaths. So press, bring your tailbone down, think of the cat shape in your back, only for 5, 4, good, tailbone under, 3, especially if you're very flexible, 2, that's it, 1, relax, and back to the Sphinx. No problem, taking the hands wider, keeping the toes under, back into the seal. Find that extension again. And here it's about the shoulders. So move your hands to a place where you can move your shoulders and we're rolling backwards. So if the hands are too far forwards, bring them a bit closer or the other way around. Roll the shoulders, roll the shoulders. Then roll the other way. Then lift up and just move your neck. So the shoulders drop down and we're looking from right to left. Because the neck is part of your back, part of the spine. Come back to the center and chin to chest, chin to ceiling. And then looking forwards as if you look at yourself in the mirror, and chin forwards, chin back, chin forwards, chin back. Keep looking forwards, not down. You're keeping the chin back, 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 back. And ease yourself down. One more time here, expand the belly like a balloon as you breathe in and hold the breath in. And let it go. Okay, from here, come into hands and knees. We go twist here. So while you're there, reaching your left arm out towards the left. Inhale, maybe looking up. And as you exhale, thread it towards the right shoulder and head on the floor. Use your right hand, lightly press into the floor to move your right shoulder further left. Then just relax onto that left shoulder. Find that twist. Keeping the right hand down, or reach the right arm all the way up towards the ceiling, reach the fingers up, opening the chest. Keep the arm there, or roll the shoulder in and reach back towards your inner left thigh, or as close to it as you can reach, and move that right elbow further left. Deepening the twist in any way that works. And slowly ease yourself down. Right hand on the floor, left hand on the floor, left leg goes back, tuck the toes under, flip the heel to the right, and open to your left and reach up. So from a twist to a side extension, reach that left arm over the ear. Pressing the outer edge of the left foot into the floor, lift the arch of the foot. Take one more breath, and both hands on the floor, forwards in the cow as you inhale, rounding in the cat as you exhale, back into the cow as you breathe in, and spine neutral. Here we're doing the other side, so right arm reaches right as you inhale or reaches up, and thread it towards the left shoulder, head on the floor. To begin with, use the left hand, push it down to the floor to deepen the twist, until the left shoulder is more over the right shoulder. Okay, variation, this might be good, or you reach in your left arm up. Right arm is on the floor, pushing down, left arm is reaching up. Keeping the left arm up, or roll the shoulder, reach back towards your inner right thigh, pull it up. Take another breath there. Slowly ease it down. Both hands on the floor. Keep the left hand down, send the right leg back, spin the heel left, turn to your right, reach the right arm up, then reach it over your ear. Then find the arch in the right foot as you press the outer edge of the foot into the foot. Hold it here for a breath, and bring both hands down. Again, we're going for that cow of the inhalation, into the cow of the exhalation, back into that cow, tuck your toes, and go into downward facing. And pressing back in the downward facing dog. If that's not right, you can go into the puppy instead. So first of all, we're holding the dog and just feeling how the heel's going down and how your calves are opening up, and how the hamstrings are opening up, and how that's affecting your pelvis and your back. So if you need to, of course, bend your knees a lot, because we want to do cat and cow with the pelvis. So pelvis tucked under and goes up, tailbone down. So the hips notation, the movement of the hips is from anterior to posterior, from forwards to backwards, basically. Tip forwards, tip back. Forwards, tip back. Try not to move the upper back, just the hips and lower back. Then we're going to add it all the way to the rest of the spine. So as you tip the tailbone up and pelvis forwards, look between the hands. As you bring the tailbone down, tip the pelvis back, look between your toes. And come into that cow as you breathe in. It's fine if you need to do it on your knees. And rounding into the cat as you breathe out. It's easy if your knees are slightly bent. Again, looking up, tailbone up. Looking down, tailbone down. And both heels to the floor, and walking the hands back towards your feet. Your arms, feet hip width apart, as you hold on to your elbows and relax your head down. When your knees are bent here a bit or a lot, or your legs are straight, just relax down. So find the weight of your arms and use it to stretch your back and to relax your hips. And breathe into your hamstrings. Stay down, just shift the hands. And release the hands down, relax your head. Up here we come into a twist, so let's bend the left knee and aiming to keep the right leg straight. If the left hand can stay on the floor, keep it there. If you can't reach the floor or when you can't use a block, place it on your right shin. Right hand comes onto your right hip as we start to twist here towards the right, aiming to stack the shoulders. So if the left hand is on the floor, just keep moving it further right. So it can be either between the feet, slightly in front, or in front of the right foot, or much further right than the right foot. And the right hand doesn't have to stay on the hip, it could reach up, aiming like a straight line between the arms, or the right shoulder can roll in and you can find your inner left thigh. Deepening the twist, spiraling from the spine. And then release it all down, axe down again, holding onto the elbows if you want to. Find a release, maybe rock a bit further forwards towards the balls of feet, but don't clench your toes. Stay low, change the grip. Stay low, relax the right hand down and bend your right knee. So again, aiming the left leg straight and the right hand low. If you can't reach the floor, use your left shin instead. Left hand on the hip, start to twist towards the left. Again, the further left your right hand goes, the deeper the twist. Keeping the left hand on the hip or reach it up. Reach it up or roll the shoulder, catch your inner right thigh. Ease it back down, bring the hands to the floor, and maybe now you can hold on to the ankles, or you can hold on to your big toes, or you can slide the hands underneath your feet, whichever way that you want to go into this variation of Uttanasana. Either way, the legs are aiming to be straight, and most importantly, the spine is aiming to open up by you relaxing the weight of your back. Yeah, so from here, releasing the hands. And we're going to place the hands on the pelvis and slowly rise standing with the inhalation, maybe keeping your spine straight, or maybe kind of stack the vertebrae, just kind of standing here. Okay, so we're getting back into the legs here. I'm going to keep the left foot where it is and step the right foot forward. So it's about 3.5 feet, maybe forward. It's not too big a step. The hands are still on the pelvis, so you can still look forwards. Okay, taking a moment here and tipping from the pelvis. So point your tailbone back, like you're about to do that cow pose, and look forwards as you breathe in. Then slide the hands down the right leg towards the floor and fold over that leg. So if the hands can reach the floor, go for that. If they can't reach the floor, you can use your prop or just use your leg. So folding over that right leg and relax. Parsvottanasana, or the pyramid pose, aiming to release the spine down while stretching that right leg. So we want the left hand to be on the floor. So if you can't reach the floor, use a brick, use a prop, or just bend the front knee. Bring the right hand to your right hip and start to turn towards the right. To begin with, move that left hand further left. Then push your hips further right. So roll into the outer edge of the right foot here is an option. Feel the stretch on the outer right hip, on the right obliques. Take another breath there and bring the foot flat and start moving your left foot as far right as, left hand, as far right as you can to the inside of the foot, on the foot, or way beyond the foot, and twisting. And then again, the right hand can stay on the hip or it can reach up now, twisting triangle pose. So the further left your right hand goes, further right, the left hand goes, the deeper it is. Not just you, it's me too. It's very confusing, rights and lefts. Another breath here. And releasing both hands down. One more time, folding over that right leg. Got that one right. Hold it here. And we're finding a lunge here. So bend the front knee and perhaps bring that right foot further forwards so your left knee can rest on the floor. Hands on the right knee. Bring yourself up. And to begin with, you find a straight line. So double the mat underneath your left knee if you need to use a blanket. Try to keep your whole spine and left leg in a straight line. Pause there. Now place your hands on your pelvis and be aware of the ball of the pelvis. And again, we're tipping it forwards and backwards. Find that movement so you're not stuck. Then sinking down and be aware that your pelvis naturally tips forwards here to some extent, which deepens the curve in your back. So if you're okay with that, stay there. You can use your hands on the pelvis. You can use your hands on your knee. Kind of push the shoulders back. Also, to your degree, don't overdo it. You could keep the right hand down and reach the left arm up with your thumb pointing back or backing down to increase that. If you're feeling stable here enough, maybe both arms can reach up, both arms point back and down, whether the palms are together or apart. That's increasing that expansion to the front of the body. Take it one more deep breath here. And as you exhale, release your hands. We're going back to down. Take a few moments here to wriggle a bit in the dog. And add some movement here if you want to. Any movement, again, it can be just intuitive movement, not linear necessarily, or symmetrical. Okay, and then from here, walking the hands back. Once the hands are back, place them on your hips and with a straight spine or stacking the vertebrae, rise to standing. And keeping the hands on the pelvis and the pelvis looking forward, step your left foot forwards. Back heel is on the floor, both hips face forwards, hands on the pelvis. Lift the tail up, lift the chest up, breathing in. Start reaching forwards. At some point, relax your hands down. So to begin with, the left big toe and big toe mound are on the floor. Hands are releasing down. Floor is too far. Use your prop. Or use your shin. And the two variations here for the twisting triangle, to begin with, move your right hand further right and place your left hand on your left hip and push the left hip further left, maybe rolling on the outer edge of the foot. Switch it up, left foot flat, and right hand moves further left, as far left as it's comfortable for you, and then twisting, and maybe reaching the left arm up. Then releasing everything down. Time fold over that front leg. When you're ready, bend the front knee, drop your right knee to the floor. Adjust the foot and the knee, bring yourself up. Okay, so again, cushion the knee if you need to. Place the hands on the pelvis and just move your lower back a bit in the pelvis. Let's see how that's affecting you. So as your tailbone goes up, lower back contracts, belly pushes forwards. As the tailbone goes under, belly pulls in, lower back lengthens. Just be aware of the potential for movement, keeping the pelvis in neutral as you sink down, and naturally it will tip slightly back. Don't overdo it. So again, the hands can be on the knee, or you can kind of press the hands so the shoulders go back. That's enough. You can stay here, or you can reach your right arm up, point the thumb backwards, slightly deepen. Kind of adding the top part of the back. You can do one hand, you can do both hands. You can look forwards, you can look up, you can look back. Take one more breath there. And we're going back into downward facing dog, so hands on the floor, wriggle out into a downward facing dog, and wriggle in the downward facing dog. And slowly drop your knees onto the floor. There are tons of variations here. Obviously, be careful with your knees. Either sitting on your heels, Vajrasana, you're going to go backwards in a moment. So if you can't go all the way back, just don't go all the way back. You can use your hands behind, just do that. If you can sit on the heels, sit on the heels, or if comfortable, separate the feet and sit between the heels. If the floor is just a bit too far, you can use a brick or block between your feet. Elevate your hips a bit. Okay, aiming to point your toes back rather than out, so your thighs don't roll in, they're kind of more neutral. That makes sense. Okay, so either sitting on the heels, what's known as the hero pose, Virasana, or on the heels, in Vajrasana, either sitting up, or leaning slightly back, or going all the way onto your back. If you go all the way to your back, that's a really big contraction for the lower back. Be aware of that as you gradually progress. So the point of it is to feel the kind of stretch on the front of the thighs, to feel the expansion in the front of your belly and the chest, and to feel the contraction in your back. So if you don't go all the way onto your back, but you can still feel it, then why do you need to go all the way back? You just find a way that you can feel all these things we're focusing on. Okay, so when you're ready, let's slowly come up. And for a moment, just sit up. Just kind of let your spine set. And we go up into a camel, to a rolling or flowing camel. And the intention will be not to go too deep, just to move the back. So once you're ready, bring yourself up onto your knees, and you can keep your feet as they are, or you can tuck your toes under. And again, you can kind of cushion underneath your knees a bit more if you need to. Right hand on the right hip as you lift your left arm up. Hold it here for a moment, either going for like a complete straight line, or you start to lean back. If you are leaning back, don't let your hips move with you. The hips stay forwards. And then switching, so left hand to left hip, right hand reaches up, either a straight line or opening up the front of the body. And then change. And again, right hand on the hip, left hand goes up. If comfortable, bring the right hand down towards your heel. You tuck the toes under to bring the heel closer, or keep the hand on your back. Switching, left hand down, right hand goes up as you inhale. Maybe lean back a bit as you exhale. And we're rolling through it. So changing the hands, breathing in, and leaning backwards, breathing out. Again, changing the hands, breathing in, and leaning backwards, breathing out. Last two, changing the hands, breathing in, leaning back, breathing out. And last one, changing the hands, breathing in, and leaning back, breathing out. Then come back to the center, both hands on the hips, and lift up. Keeping the hands on the hips, or bring them down towards the heels, still doing the same pose. And be aware of your hips. Keep moving the hips forwards, forwards, forwards. The belly pushes forwards. Slowly coming out. Sit down again. On your heels. Take a moment, notice your back. And do a bit of a cat and cow here. So rounding in, expanding, rounding in, expanding. And we're going for that flexion. So reach the hands forwards, interlock the fingers. Then pull the belly back as you bring your tailbone under. Stretch your back. Reaching the arms forwards, chest and belly backwards, tailbone forwards. We'll come up to sitting, and we're going to cross the legs. Sit back, the legs forward. So first of all, Dandasana, the arms are straight, the legs are straight, spine is straight. Hold yourself tall and straight. Hold it here as you take a deep breath in. Perhaps put the belly in your knees as you start to fold forwards over your legs. So in the same way to what we did at the beginning, the idea is to find a release here. So if you are holding on to your legs or feet, just for a moment, release the hands and find that you're not moving up, hopefully, and then make contact again with the hands, but just don't pull yourself. Relax into it. Yeah, whenever you're ready, let's slowly come up to sitting. Just for one, place the hands on the floor behind. You can point your fingers back and place the feet on the floor. And press into the feet and into your tail and lift your chest up. You can stay here if that's enough for your wrists. Otherwise, lift your hips up too. Keeping the chin in if that's okay for your neck, or release the head back. Take another deep breath as you are. Bring the chin in and ease yourself down. And we're going to go onto the back. So ease yourself onto your back, relax down, and hug your legs in. Let's give us a really good squeeze here. Squeezing the thighs into the bellies, whether your knees are together, slightly apart or wide apart, just give us a big squeeze. But more importantly, notice how your back is pressing down to the floor. And then releasing down. So you can have your feet on the floor, knees apart. You can have your feet on the floor, knees together, or you can have your legs straight. We're doing some breathing here. So if you're not comfortable with the feet together, knees apart, just change it. So starting here by placing your attention on the breath. Noticing that when the belly breathes, it affects the back. And we want a flexible back, and we want a strong back. But more importantly, we want a mobile back. If it's stuck in a very flexible position or very stiff position, it's still stuck. So you want to be able to move it. So as you breathe into your belly, you will notice as the belly expands, the lower back creates a slight open arch. As the belly releases down, it becomes a bit flatter. So good abdominal breathing will affect the stiffness in your back, will help to remove it. unstiff your back. It will free it up. Diaphragmatic breathing here. As you're focusing on releasing, I'm going to gradually build up the exhalation, starting with savriti, even rhythm. So breathing into 4, holding for 2. Breathing out for 4, holding for 2. Let's begin. Breathe out. Inhale to the count of 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 2. And exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 2, 1. Breathing in 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 2, 1. Exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. And hold 2, 1. Inhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 2, 1. Exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. And hold 2, 1. More. Inhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 2, 1. Breathe out 4, 3, 2, 1. And hold 2. Let's change. Inhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Now hold 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And hold 2, 1. Inhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 2, 1. Exhale 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And hold 2, 1. Breathing 4, 3, 2, 1. Holding 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And hold 2, 1. Take a breath in. And as you exhale again, bring the knees in, bring the knees together. This time, drop both knees towards the right. So if you want to, you can move your hips a bit further left first. Find a comfortable way to drop both knees right as you relax your left arm, as you keep your left shoulder heavy and stable. In the same way, coming to the center, allowing both knees to drop left, so adjust your hips if you want to. Keep the right shoulder heavy and relax. Both knees travel down towards the left side, together, apart, crossed, not, just twist gently towards the left. Then go onto your back. One more time, give yourself a big hug. Placing your spine in the center. And then ease yourself onto your back, finishing corpse pose. So lying comfortably, relaxing down, releasing down. Close your eyes. Close the mouth. Releasing the legs. Releasing your arms. Releasing the hips. Relaxing the back. Softening the belly. Relaxing the chest. Softening the throat. Relaxing the face. Releasing the body. Softening the breath. Okay, so our line still on the back. We just have one big stretch here, so reaching the arms way far behind you, extending the arms and the legs. And just for a moment here to, again, recheck with the back, get some length there. And then hugging your legs in, give yourself a really good squeeze. Get some stretch there. And when you're ready, roll onto your side and come up to sitting. Get some stability. So sitting tall and straight, bringing the hands to the heart center. Let's find here some balance. Balancing your right side and left side, the sun and moon, the night and day, the earth and the sky. Come into this day here, the autumn equinox, finding balance. So maintain this feeling of balance and take it with you, right within you. Right ahead to honor yourself, honor your journey. Most importantly, honor yourself for showing up. Namaste. Thank you. Have a great